After months of city chaos, I finally booked a secluded cabin in the mountains, 3 hours north. I just wanted peace, a break from everything. The GPS said I was only a mile away, but my rental sedan wasn't built for winter roads. Suddenly, the car slid sideways into a snowbank. Panic set in. Nothing I tried, rocking, mats under the tires, worked.
Then headlights appeared. A rusty red pickup truck pulled alongside. Out stepped an older man, warm smile, black jacket, and winter cap. "Need a hand?" he asked. He hooked a chain to my car and pulled me back onto the road within minutes. "Name's Bill," he said, mentioning the cabin. I thanked him and drove the last mile, feeling relieved.
If you love stories like this, hit that subscribe button. It keeps the suspense coming. Later that night, while washing dishes, headlights swept across the cabin. My stomach dropped. The red pickup, Bill's truck, was outside. I peeked through the blinds. The driver got out silently, carrying a large dark duffel and a crowbar. My breath caught. This wasn't a friendly visit. I grabbed the biggest knife. The side door rattled as he tried to pry it open. "I have a gun!" I yelled. He froze. After 10 seconds, footsteps retreated. I pushed furniture against doors, staying alert all night. Morning revealed the man had vanished. Bill appeared on the trail. "That wasn't me," he said. His friend Earl had borrowed the truck while drunk and gotten lost. I grabbed the biggest knife. The side door rattled as he tried to pry it open. "I have a gun!" I yelled. He froze. After 10 seconds, footsteps retreated. I pushed furniture against doors, staying alert all night. Morning revealed the man had vanished. Bill appeared on the trail. "That wasn't me," he said. His friend Earl had borrowed the truck while drunk and gotten lost. A blizzard hit on day 3. Around 8 p.m., a faint shout pierced the storm. It was Bill, shivering, lost. I let him inside, wrapped him in blankets, made tea. I felt guilty suspecting him. But at 3 a.m., a whisper. "Did you bring the zip ties?" Not Bill. Someone else was inside. Panic surged. I barricaded the bedroom door with furniture, called 911. Outside, the storm raged, but the intruders vanished when the approaching lights reflected off the snow. I've always loved winter. The calm, the quiet. It's my escape. I booked a secluded cabin 3 hours north, advertised as a digital detox haven. I packed my SUV and my dog, Buster, a 3-year-old German Shepherd mix. The dirt road leading up was covered in fresh snow, trees thick with white blankets. The cabin looked exactly like the photos, a single-story A-frame, giant floor-to-ceiling windows surrounded by a silent forest. Buster leapt out, sniffing the snow, running circles, living his best life. I unpacked, made coffee, and just stared at the world outside the glass. With a few hours of daylight left, I grabbed Buster and built a snowman, about 5 feet tall. Stick arms, stones for eyes, and a small rock for a nose. I positioned it facing the forest, my little guard. I stepped back, proud. Buster wagged his tail, oblivious to the unease that would follow. By 8 p.m., the cabin's picture windows reflected only darkness. Suddenly, Buster stiffened, growling at the front door. I flicked the porch light on. Nothing. I tried to shrug it off, but when I looked again,
The snowman's head seemed turned. Its eyes were fixed on the cabin, not the woods. My stomach sank.
I tried to ignore it. Minutes later, a faint crunch of snow reached my ears. Someone was approaching. Slowly, inch by inch, the snowman was moving. Someone crouched behind it, pushing it forward like a shield. My heart raced. Whoever it was, they could see me clearly through the glass. I grabbed the back door keys and Buster's collar, moving low along the floor. The intruder pushed the snowman onto the porch steps, the weight cracking the wood slightly. I swung the door open and ran, Buster by my side. Cold air slammed into my face, snow up to my shins. As I reached the SUV, headlights catching the yard, I froze. The snowman was pressed against the front door. Behind it, a tall man in white camouflage, crowbar in hand, blending into the snow. I floored the SUV. Tires spun, then gripped. I fishtailed down the driveway, adrenaline screaming. I drove until I reached the main road and got signal. I called the police, who sent a deputy to check the cabin. By the time they arrived, the place was empty. Front door pried open, the snowman gone. Intruders vanished. A makeshift campsite found a mile into the woods with sleeping bags and mail belonging to a previous guest. They'd been watching, waiting. I never returned.
If you think you could survive a night like that, think again. Always trust your instincts. And if you want more chilling true cabin horror stories, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. You don't want to miss what's coming next.
I thought winter solitude would be relaxing. My cabin was tucked away on a snowy hill miles from the nearest town. I brought Buster, my German shepherd, excited for fresh snow. The forest surrounding the cabin was silent, white, and endless. The moment I stepped out, I felt isolated, but in a comforting way, at first.
To pass the afternoon, I built a snowman near the cabin porch, 5 feet tall, coal eyes, stick arms. Buster circled it happily. It felt innocent, playful, but something in its placement, perfectly facing the cabin, seemed deliberate. I laughed it off, maybe too nervously. By nightfall, Buster was growling at the yard repeatedly. I glanced out the window. The snowman's head appeared slightly turned. At first, I blamed my eyes, but the feeling of being watched intensified. The forest beyond was completely dark. The only light came from the cabin windows reflecting off the snow. A faint crunch outside made me freeze. Buster barked, low and warning. I saw movement, a shadow crouching behind the snowman, pushing it closer to the cabin. My chest tightened. Someone had been using it as a shield to watch me. My heart pounded as I realized the snowman had never been just snow. I grabbed a flashlight and a heavy stick. I shouted, and the figure froze, but before I could see their face clearly, they darted behind trees, melting into the darkness. I ran to the SUV, Buster close behind, tires spinning in the snow. Adrenaline screamed. Someone had been waiting hours, maybe days. The next morning, police checked the area. Circular footprints surrounded the cabin, evidence of someone lingering. The snowman was gone. My dog never returned. I learned later that a local had been using snowmen to hide and stalk cabins in the area. I packed immediately and left, never looking back. If you thought the previous stories were scary, This proves nature itself can be a cover for something sinister. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell, because the next story, or maybe the next snowy night, could be closer than you think.